Ramana Maharshi Center for Learning is a non-profit registered society working now for more than 4 decades in the areas of Indian heritage awareness.
O Namo Bhagavate Sri Ramanaya. One thing, Ekashloki. And this child always reminds me, there was another instance when somebody asked him, it's okay, one sentence you made 4 lines, can you just make a poetry or a song or whatever it is, just with one single akshara? Somebody asked it. I've forgotten the name, but asked it. And spontaneous outflow was, Ekamaksharam Prudinirantaram Bhasate Swayam Likhyate Katham. This is what Bhagavan said. Ekamaksharam. So this expression can be from a Rishi. A poet is really, a real poet is and must be a Rishi. And is there an authority or is it just your imagination? No. Just open a few pages in the Oxford Dictionary, you find, or in Sanskrit Amarakosha, you find, Kavi is a Rishi. Kavi is a Rishi. And now let us know what a Rishi is. Our learned Pandit is here and all my talk is childish, it may look to him. And who is a Rishi? Rishir Darshane Kila. A person who has got a vision is a Rishi. Vision has got a Rishi. And what is a vision? Vision is Darshana. And Darshana, you just to remember Vishwamitra, whom we revere as our greatest Rishi, who gave us Gayatri Mantra. He did not write Gayatri Mantra. He saw it actually, and that vision immediately was an expression. That expression thrilled the entire 3 worlds, and not only he, but the 3 worlds became holy. And their life became meaningful on account of his darshana. He saw it actually, that is the word. And can I just give any authority for this? And the dictionary says, darshana is seeing and not writing. Kavya is not writing a poem, but seeing a poem. Where it is said? See, I think our English doctor is here, Dr. Sharda, she knows. The root word for the word poet, the root word for the poet, it is found in Oxford Dictionary as well as in other dictionaries also. It has got a Latin root, if I am correct. And the meaning of that word is not the writer of poetry, it says seer of poetry. Am I correct? The seer of poetry. And who is a seer? Seer is a Rishi. So a real poet is a Rishi. And it is in God and great and in-depth Mauna only poetry springs. Our Adikavi Valmiki was in Mauna. And there was some inspiration from Narada, etc., etc. But he was in Mauna. And what he got from Narada was some Mahiti. Mahiti kalatana ivaga. So Mahiti, he got some Mahiti. He put a question to him. Konvasmin samprate loke Gunavan, Kascha, Virivan, Dharmagnascha, Kritagnascha, Satyavaka, Parakrami, Sanukrosha, Jitendriya. He wanted some detail about it because he was in Mauna, hidden himself, isn't it? Valmikir Muni Pungavaha. That is how Ramayana starts. Naradam Papracha. Who was he? Valmikir Muni Pungavaha. He was Muni. And that Mauna wanted an expression. I am not saying the Mauni wanted expression. The Mauna itself wanted an expression. And that expression came in the form of a question. Just as Arjuna put a question to the greatest poet Jagadguru, Sri Krishna. Isn't it? I think you followed me. The Mauna itself wanted an expression. And therefore, Valmikir Muni Pungavam, with the basic factors of Ramachandra, who came down, the Lord came down to earth, and all that he got, but that was not poetry. He went to Tamasa, and in Tamasa he said, see, a person, a hunter, who had killed thousands of birds, he could not just digest a single bird's akrandana. How is it? Was it not a magic, really? Poetry is neither logic, it is magic. There was a magic. And what was that magic really? He could not tolerate it. His pratispandana was so deep. And the poetics say, Adikavi, Valmiki, became a poet when he felt the sorrow of a little bird. It is that feeling, Anuspandana, Pratispandana, that brought Bhagavan to us. Bhagavan was in bliss. Bhagavan was in Mauna. For about 7 years he was in Mauna. And Kavya Kantha was something. He just stirred that Mauna, and immediately Bhagavan became compassionate Bhagavan. And why did he come to us? It is on account of compassion about us. Just as Aurobindo's Savitri could not stay even in the Satyaloka. She said, let there be thousands of sorrows in this world. I am prepared to go there, live with them. They are crying for Savitri. Please send me back to that world of misery. Can you imagine? This girl, she sang, and see, this world is, the world is full of sorrow. Bhagavan knew it. And he wants to be in the midst of sorrow. How? Just like a Hamsa, a swan. That Hamsa, samsara, sagara, madhyasthita, how? Mandasmita. In the midst of the misery, he was smiling. He was not disturbed. He was there. And he became a swan, and the swan song, as you say, wonderful. You have only to experience it. And that was how Bhagavan came to us. I was talking of Ramayana with a particular purpose, and Valmiki, when he actually became a poet, it was the poet's compassion that brought him to this world. And may I remind you, sir, when Rama took an avatarana, he came to us, there must be a place, and there must be a cause, and there must also be a time, isn't it? So at this particular time, it is maybe in Krita Yuga and the Treta Yuga. In Treta Yuga, that is the time, and the place is Ayodhya. And what is the cause? The cause is Ravana Vadhartham. That is a common explanation given. Ravana Vadhartham, as if that is the purpose of his avatara. But really, Kambar perhaps has understood why Rama took an avatar. It is not for killing Ravana only. It is uplifting and absorbing even Ravana to himself. And making Ravana also and giving him Ramatva at the end is what Kuvempu's perception also in Ramayana Darshanam. And Rama and Ravana became one and the same. The Jiva and Paramatma, they united. There was a Dvaita. And so there was no need for such a great god to kill Ravana. It was just a minute's work. But do you know why he came here? Who asked him to come here? It was Guha. Kambar says, it was Guha. It was Ahalya. It was Shabari. Right? They were all asking for his avatara. And just to grace them, Rama avatara took place. This is what Kambar says. And to grace them with his compassion, the avatara took place. And Bhagavan, Avatara Purusha, Bhagavan, he came near at the door, and yesterday as she sang, he himself knocked the door. Knock the door, it will open. If Jesus says like that, no, don't take the trouble. I will myself knock the door and come to you. That's what she sang yesterday. Manaya kada tatti, manava kondavan. Right? Manaya kada tatti, manaya kondavan. He himself knocked. Why do you take the trouble of knocking it all? Look at the compassion and grace of Ramana. And such a person is a real poet. I again say, such a person is a real poet because he is a Rishi. And Rishi has got a darshan. And darshan means before a poetry was written, there was a poet. And that poet was a seer. And the seer was Ramana. I am emphatic about this. And our Pandit is here. So now let us take another example. It is not just in Tamil he wrote. He wrote in Sanskrit also, maybe in number, very limited, but he also wrote in Sanskrit. And Upadesha Sara becomes an authoritative text out of Prasthanatrayi because it was not just translated by any others except by Maharshi himself. And what a beautiful poetry it is. Let it be Prasthanatrayi, it's okay. What a beautiful poetry. And in real poetry, there is truth and nothing but truth. Truth is not decorated. Truth is not explained. Truth is not given different expressions. That is why I didn't agree with the subject given. It is for this reason. Truth cannot be compromised. Truth is beautiful. Satyam, Shivam, also Sundaram. So the beautiful expression is the real content of a real poetry. Satyam, Shivam, Sundaram. And Upadesha Sara is so much dear to me. It gives me truth. It is in a beautiful way. And it's Mangala.